Netflix has very much been killing it in terms of their ability to crank out shows that are not just good, but unexpectedly good. And one of the ones that have been getting a lot of attention recently is the French drama known as Lupin. If you haven't seen it, you might want to. Season 2 is coming, and Netflix is teasing it possibly coming out in 2021. But whether you've watched it or not, you need to know what to expect as the next season beckons. Allow us to show you 7 things to expect in Lupin Season 2. Be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Number 7. The first season. Okay, so we acknowledge that very likely some of you haven't gone and seen Lupin, so if you're in a need-to-know-more situation, we got your back. Lupin is a French-language Netflix original that retells the classic story of Arsène Lupin, reputed as a gentleman thief and a master of disguise. When Arsène Diop was a teenager, he lost his father, for which he believes the Pellegrini family is responsible. Diop's life changes when he comes across a book about Lupin, which eventually sets him off on an adventurous journey to avenge his father's death. Created by George Kay and François Ozon, the crime drama television series first aired in January 2021 on Netflix. The series revolves around a highly skilled anti-hero, Arsène. He has style, a solid backstory, and manages to pull off impossible plans with panache. So there's a lot to love there. Moreover, one of the directors is Louis Leterrier, best known for Now You See Me, which was good, unlike the sequel, which was most definitely not. Anyway, the show has made a huge splash on Netflix and has gotten a lot higher numbers than people expected when it first debuted on the platform. As such, people want to know when the next season will arrive and what it will entail. Number 6. How the finale influences Season 2. The Lupin Part 1 finale includes a train showdown between Arsène and an assassin hired by Hubert Pellegrini, Hervé Pierre, the former boss of the focal thief's father. For a brief moment, it seems like Arsène's family trip to Étretat will go as planned after the gunman is tricked and subsequently arrested at Le Havre. In a somewhat bizarre twist, however, the assassin is immediately released after investigators discover that he's been framed by someone, presumably the mysterious Lupin thief. The baddie then makes his way to Étretat and kidnaps Raoul. Meanwhile, investigator Youssef Guedira, Soufiane Guerab, pieces together evidence from Lupin-themed crimes and tracks Arsène down, a cliffhanger that ends Part 1 of the Netflix show. Looking ahead, Lupin Part 2 will most likely center on Arsène's accountability issues. He pleads for one more chance with Claire in the Part 1 finale and puts his son in immense danger by living a dangerous lifestyle. Arsène does indeed have the smarts and skills to escape from Guedira and subsequently tracks down Raoul, but there will undoubtedly be family-related consequences in the near future, as Claire probably won't put up with any more nonsense. Lupin Part 2 on Netflix may show Arsène trying to be a family man, but it seems inevitable that he'll continue his same old ways as a gentleman thief. Someone who's simply addicted to the thrills of it all, along with the satisfaction that comes from a perfectly executed heist. Number 5. The cast. The cast are obviously very important for a show like Lupin. Because more than anything, they're the ones who are trying to sell you the story and the characters and everything else that goes on. Omar Sy plays the role of Arsène Diop, the protagonist with multiple shades. Ludivine Sagnier plays his ex-partner Claire. Ethan Simon plays Claire and Arsène's son Raoul. Fargas Assonde plays Arsène's father Babacar. Vincent Garanger portrays Gabriel Dumont, while Joan Dionnet plays the younger version of Dumont. Anna Benoit essays the role of the journalist Fabienne Berrois. Other actors in the series are Vincent Londet, Captain Romain Lugier, Clotilde Esme, Nicole Garcia, Anne Pellegrini, Hervé Pierre, Hubert Pellegrini, Soufiane Guerab, investigator Youssef Guedira, Antoine Goua, Benjamin Farrell, Adam Agnan, Leonard, and Shireen Bouteya, Lieutenant Sophia Belkacem. In Season 2, we can expect most of these cast members to return except for a few, and we may also see some new faces. In fact, you could argue that for a show like Lupin, there needs to be new faces on the regular to keep things interesting and give Lupin new challenges and experiences. Yes, some characters, like his ex-partner and his son, are ones who need to be around a lot, but that doesn't mean you can't switch it up when you want to. Number 4. The potential plot. The first season unfolds Arsène's family life as it jumps back and forth in time to show the person he used to be and his motivations for doing all that he does now. At the end of Season 1, Arsène is seen spending some time with Claire and Raoul after having already pulled off multiple thefts here and there. Claire is clearly disappointed because Arsène doesn't keep his promise to give up his business. On the family trip, he bumps into Leonard, a mysterious figure from his past. Leonard and Arsène seem to share some history, which we may only know in the next season, especially since he's kidnapped Raoul. Leonard's story may take center stage in Season 2. The upcoming season may see Arsène's family feel the heat of his actions. Although in Season 1 he promises Claire again that there's just one last thing he needs to finish, we know that he's far from the end. Guadira has put the pieces of the puzzle together, and Hassan responds when Guadira calls out to him as Lupin. Could this mean that he's caught? Or will Hassan wriggle his way out of this as well? There are many ways this can go, and that's part of the fun of things like this. Because just when you think you can guess where the plot is going, then they go and do something else in order to have fun and toy with your expectations. Lupin is a show that loves to do that in its own way, so when Season 2 comes around, you should predict such changes happening at a blistering pace. Number 3. More characters from the past. Another thing that the first season of Lupin made very clear is that there are many people from his past that he doesn't expect to see again, and yet he keeps seeing them, like the mysterious Leonard. Lupin's ability to get out of trouble and get certain jobs done is impressive, but as they say, you can't outrun your past. To that end, Season 2 might focus even more on Lupin's past and how he's gone and done various things for various people, leading him to the life and position that he has right now. As for who will show up, that's hard to say, but given how the show has been done so far, it'd be a fair guess to say at least one or two more people from Lupin's will re-emerge to haunt him in one way or another. Number 2. The Quiet Life. As we noted earlier, Lupin very much lives a double life. He's a man who wants to go and be with his son and make things right with his ex, and yet when things go wrong, he doesn't hesitate to get back into the game and try to make things better, while simultaneously making things worse as a result. There's little doubt that he does want to give up his other life eventually and go settle down with his ex and son, but the problem is that for people like Lupin, giving up the life isn't easy at all. The lure is always there, and the desire to go bigger and do more can't be contained at times. Look at Danny Ocean and his crew from the Oceans franchise. Even when they weren't going and doing jobs together, they were out doing jobs on their own time. That meant a lot more danger for them and their relationships, but they didn't care because the thrill was more important to them. So could Lupin go and finally do the quiet life with his family? Maybe, but not likely in Season 2, and trying to do it then might cost him. Number 1. Updates soon? The wait for Lupin Season 2 may be a little long, but not as long as some might expect. It's not a full-on Netflix original like other shows on the platform. As such, filming for Season 2 has already begun, and apparently 5 episodes have already been made. Since the first season was 10 episodes, that means they're halfway done and could easily wrap up in 2020 and thus give us Season 2 before the end of the year, easily. So stay tuned for updates. So what do you think? What do you think of this look at Lupin Season 2 and how things might evolve or progress? What did you think of the first season after you got done watching it? Or if you haven't watched it, does this make you want to watch the first season and see what all the hype is about? What do you personally hope happens in Season 2? Let us know in the comments below, be sure to subscribe, and we'll see you next time on the channel.